How's it going, everyone? We're gonna head on over here. We're in Corrupt Defiance. You can't go nowhere without running into some corruption. And we're gonna try this out. Nothing seems to work out properly. We're gonna audit, probably, most likely, do an audit outside what is most likely probably the most corrupt bank in Northwest Ohio. I've had issues with them once before, way in the past, and they pull some dirty stuff, and I, of course, took all the advice back then. Oh, just forget about it, let it go and move on. Well, I did that. Of course, never got nothing, no results from it, like everybody claims. But so we're on our way there, and Whiskey's enjoying sticking his head out the window. It's still chilly, still pretty cold. But on the way, while we're on the way there, I'll just share a little story with you. From back in the day, there's some older truckers out there, most of them's retired by now, that would know this story. You can take it for however you want and use your own judgment, whether you think it's real or not. But I'll tell you a story of an old truck driver that once upon a time he was starting up his own company. He had like 1 or 2 trucks. One day this trucker pulls into a truck stop in Indiana, picks himself up a lot lizard, they call him, right? And he ends up shacking up with this thing, and finds out, this crafty bastard, he's friends with people in his local community, and as he's adding more trucks to his business, he starts meeting people connected to a major auto manufacturer. He gets in good with them and joins up, gets pulled into the Masons as he starts making more money, right? Company owner. This is way back, you know, when things weren't as prominent as they are these days, right? So he starts adding a few more trucks, shacks up with this thing he meets at the truck stop, finds out that she's Indian. She's got a little bit of Indian money, he finds out. Well, through his connections, he finds out that, well, you marry that Indian squaw, you can start putting in to get some of this money that people don't know. Hello, Malcolm TV. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for tuning in. Driving right now. It's a small screen. Can't see the screen too well, the comments, but I'll try to keep an eye on them. We're on our way to the bank that's on the thumbnail. All you law enforcement tuning in, you might as well just meet me over there for the call. But we're going to keep it all legal and legit. We'll only be coming from the public easements, filming from the public easements. Anyways, back to our little story here as we're on our way there. So he finds out from his connections, well, you go ahead and marry that Indian squaw, and you can start milking the government for a big chunk every month, big chunk of money every month, fat bank, right? So he does so. So he starts getting all this big money, moves up through the ranks of the Masons, and before you know it, his company's growing, adding more trucks, catching a bunch of business from the major auto industry, auto manufacturer that he's connected to. He starts banking big money. During that time, he starts buying up land all over the place, all over the county, all over several counties nearby. putting himself into a position of power. Years go on, company starts succeeding big time. They start crapping on all their old-time drivers that moved them up, built them to what they are. Quit breathing so heavy. And wouldn't you know it, they start claiming power and control over the local community. Best Pops, whatever, I can't see the whole name there, sorry. Yes, I'm a biker. Always used to be anyway. So now this guy, he's quite something. As they move and take power over, control over the whole community, he moves up to the top ranks of the Masons, and soon enough they start controlling even the sheriff's office. And now they have control over the sheriff's office, over the local court, just over everything, right? Anyone that starts working for them, anytime they have some kind of issue or want to call you into a meeting, or it's time for a raise or whatever, you know, they bring, he moves his Indian wife into the head honcho position. She starts meeting with you with a big notepad full of all the information of everything you own. So anytime there's an issue, she slaps it down and pretty much says, we own you, we control you, you better do as we say. Right? Well, then that brings us here to this bank we're rolling up on. And as it turns out, they move themselves into managing members of the bank. Right, what you call it, shareholders of the bank. Now they're in control over this bank. We'll use this bank that we're coming to as an example to add to our story, right? Farmers and Merchants State Bank. Here in Northwest Ohio. Well, anyways, eventually a pandemic hits. And during that pandemic, the government decides we're going to start offering, we're going to break into tax money, make the taxpayers pay and what they call it, paycheck protection program, right? Hold on a minute, let me get the dog out. Slow it down here. So we're gonna try this. I'm gonna flip the screen around. Hopefully the mic works okay. But that would be the bank there, right? We're gonna get a little bit closer in a minute here to see what they try to pull. But so as you can imagine, these corrupt people owning the trucking company, now managing members of the bank, they go ahead and apply for paycheck protection program, right? Which would be a fraud because they do not need it. They have business. They're in business. They have plenty of business to do. But yet they start milking the government, in other words, the taxpayers, for all that paycheck protection money, right? It was fraud is what it was. But nothing gets done about it because they're in control of everything in Northwest Ohio, including the bank, so they definitely got approved for that money, right? I would be willing to bet that this particular bank we're filming right here is this is probably where our good buddy Sheriff Doug Engel holds his money, right? So if you want to break Doug Engel, you probably look for the vault inside that bank. Get over here on the sidewalk. This would be Farmers and Merchants Bank. This bank, my ex-employer is on the board, right? So as you can imagine, it's a lot of corruption going on there. So we're gonna come out here and film and see if they harass us. Oh, cops are already riding by. Probably watching my live and seeing what I'm up to and seeing, oh, he's over there about to hit the bank. He's about to hit the bank. Better get over there, see if there's any harassment we can do. You're not going that way. See if we can get try to get trespassed like they always do to us. We're on the easement side, so we're in our rights, but we'll see what happens. So this bank is controlled by the very employer that is part of the corruption that negatively affected all of us. We'll maybe replay this in a little bit on a different format. We want to make sure we get all this stuff in there. Come on. Exciting of a life. And got a subject put together I want to discuss, but yes, Defiance, Ohio. JP, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is Defiance, Ohio. I'm not sure if my mic is working too well right now. Stay right on the sidewalk here. Don't go off the sidewalk, it's gonna get us in trouble. grew up in Sherwood. Oh, right on. Sorry if my mic ain't working that well with this camera. I don't got it hooked up to the phone. I don't got the right adapter. Sherwood, yeah, right on. I know where that's at. That's cool. Still around this area, or? Yes, they certainly are really crooked. They screwed up my life, and that's why I'm out here doing this right now. A lot of my videos are talking about it, but nothing but corruption around here. Fort Wayne now. Okay, right on. Cool. I know where that's at. Hope you like it better there than here. I grew up over in Napoleon. I got a friend that moved over to the Fort Wayne area. He seems to like it better than over here. I heard you guys over in Fort Wayne have some kind of outbreak going on. Much better. Cops ain't as corrupt. Oh, right on. That's good to hear. To me, that's a little bit surprising. You would think that the bigger cities would have more corruption, but that's pretty cool. My employer here in Defiance, my employer is connected to all the crooked cops and court and all that, and they're managing members or board members of this bank, and so that's why I came out here. I'm just staying on a public easement, but trying to see if they'll try to call the police on me. Judge Smink is the worst. Yep, yeah, he sure is. I got screwed over by Judge Roars and Judge Smink, and I've heard a lot about Judge Smink and never had an issue with him myself until here recently. He's seen what was going on, and he gave unlawful permission to the sheriff's office to come and take all my property, everything, and they've not returned any of it. And it's been almost 2 years now. They came at gunpoint, forced me out of my house, and then came in and took everything, all my property that was in the house, and refused to give any of it back. And they got the okay from Judge Smink for that. Judge Smink didn't even do his job. He's corrupt. Hell, he was sitting on the bench while on house arrest. I don't know how that's allowed. He's probably got his money in this corrupt bank too. I've had other dealings with this bank way in the past. Yeah, right on. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for that. Sorry to hear that. They need exposed. Keep up the good fight. Right on. I appreciate that very much. You're right. They need exposed. And they're so corrupt, and that's my deal. I'm like, you guys ruined my life, so I'm gonna expose everything you've done. And not just me. I'm doing it for. I got a lot of. I put an article out for people to come forward with their issues of corruption, and so I had a lot of people come forward. A lot of them want to stay anonymous for right now, but they've screwed my life up so bad that I've made it my I'm not going to give up till I expose all of their nasty shit. And they want to, and it's so corrupt. They're all sticking together, so you can't beat nothing. I've taken my complaint as far as I can go with it, and unless I come up with thousands, big money for a lawyer that would fight it, so I can't do that. So I said, okay, I'm not going to rest until I expose everybody their dirty deeds. Can't go that way. Got Whiskey over here trying to run out into the road. He's a good boy though. He usually listens pretty well. But usually I don't take him over to this area. Evo Rick, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Is JB Shakers still across the street? Yeah. That well, it's not JB Shakers no more. Now it's called Jersey's. It's kind of almost like a Buffalo Wild Wings right over there. I'll get up here a little bit closer and show it. But it's the same building. It's just been remodeled. It changed from Shakers to East of Chicago Pizza was in there for a while, and then after that shut down. Now this place called Jersey's right over there. But I remember that used to be quite a place to go. Shakers. Back when I lived in Napoleon, we would come to Defiance just to check out. It was Shakers, and then I think they had a little section called Jammers also, or something like that. But that's I don't know how good it's showing up. It's called Jersey's now. It's kind of like a Buffalo Wild Wing, kind of a wings kind of thing, but they got pizza in there. They got good food in there. Get over there. Yep, long time ago. Yeah, right on. I forgot it was called Shakers until you mentioned that. That's pretty cool. Landscapes over here has changed a little bit. We got over here on this side, now we got a Harbor Freight back in there, and Dollar Tree, Menards on this other side. So it's they've built some stuff up over here. Oh, and then we got whatever that fish place, Captain D's. They couldn't get it Long John Silver's. For some reason, Defiance always gets the generic places in here. Somewhere we just got a Jersey Mike's over here somewhere, but I haven't been there yet to check it out. I imagine if they'd called the police on me, they probably said, "Oh, we don't want to deal with that guy. We're sick of being called the shit he runs out there and throws on camera. We're sick of being called to it." They did drive by once, but I'm probably no excitement, so I'll probably get back in the truck. I'm getting cold. Whiskey's pulling me all over the place. Whiskey's my dog's name. He's hey Whiskey, say something to everybody. He's part husky and part shepherd. Come on, I'm not going that way. Pretty much they know what I'm up to in this county, so it's hard to get them to come over here to do anything because I've already thrown the camera in all their faces, and so now I show up somewhere else. As long as I keep it legal, and they know I do, so I stay on the public sidewalk or the public easement, so technically I can sit here and film them all I want. But if you watch other people's videos that do this stuff, usually they get harassed big time. Somebody in other communities, they call the police show up, try to tell them they can't do it. I think around here they're just tired of dealing with me because I call them out on their shit. Once they show up, then I call them out and start reporting what's been done to me, and they already know, but they hate it because technically under their oath they should be offering some kind of help, but to do something about it, nope, none of them claim to have enough authority to arrest the sheriff. And the sheriff hides from me. He won't do anything. Get over here. I'm gonna get back in the vehicle here and get warmed up. Get in there. That's about the most excitement today, I guess. I just wanted to, I wake up, sometimes this shit's got me so pissed off. So I try to figure what could I do. And then I started remembering that, because my employer was connected to it. My employer, Hornish, was Fountain City Leasing, owned by Hornish Brothers Trucking. They pretty much own the Defiance County Sheriff's Office. Westrick used to be sheriff. Yeah, now it's Westrick's retired now, and now it's Doug Engel, who used to be on the man unit, and he's the one that I never had too many dealings with Westrick. Like I said, I used to live in Napoleon, but Engel is now but I imagine Hornish still owned them, because Hornish has one of their family members on the sheriff's as a deputy. They pretty much own the sheriffs, and what they did was fired me to protect the sheriff, because I threatened to sue them when they were dragging me through court, and they wouldn't back off, so I threatened to sue them, the sheriff, for violating my rights. And then next thing I know, they pulled me into office, called me, told me not to show up to work until they could meet with me. Right, this was right after I threatened to sue. Then when I waited around about a week, and then they called me, told me to come in for a meeting with Miss Hornish, and she then pretty much she tried to get me to change my story and back off of the sheriff's office or lose my job. And they ended up firing me. So then I tried to beat that, and then once I reported my employer to the Civil Rights Commission for doing me wrong, then that's when the sheriff showed up with the guns and armored gear and all that to yank me out of my house. And I'm not saying that, I was facing foreclosure, but it shouldn't have been to that level yet. I was doing it all properly, and they showed up to my house way before it should have been happened, and had this 3-day notice that I never seen before. And because of that, they kicked me off my property, wouldn't let me back in to get any of my personal belongings, took it all, everything out of my garage, everything out of my house, and to this day, that's been almost 2 years now for that, and to this day they will not return any of it. And I tried to get complaints and tried to get shit done about it. They're all sticking together here, nothing but a bunch of corrupt assholes. I got videos on there where I've confronted the sheriff about it. He acts all stupid. But that bank we were at, the Hornish is, who was my employer, right, is board member of, high board member of that bank. And when the Paycheck Protection Program came around, they conned our government, or us, the people who are paying for that. People don't understand when I bitch about that. They brought us into work under the Paycheck Protection Program, which we had work to do, and that program was meant for anyone who couldn't give money to their didn't have work for their employees, and that way they wouldn't have to fire them or whatever, right? 100% correct. Oh yeah, right on. Sorry, I didn't. Sometimes it shows up real small on my screen because I'm using a smaller phone when I'm doing it this way, and I can't see the comments too well. But anyway, so they took the Paycheck Protection Program was supposed to be if an employer was out of work, and instead of laying off people or firing them or all that or shutting down, they were able to get the Paycheck Protection Program. Well, my employer, which was the Hornish family, they had work. They did all this work for General Motors. So we had work and was busy. There was no reason that they should have needed the Paycheck Protection Program. They go ahead and filed for it anyways. And of course they do it through that bank that they are managing members of. And they, of course get approved. So they get approved, so they bring us into work, keep us working or whatever. add another extra hour to all of us, and it's at a flat salary pay, right? They figured, however, well, meanwhile, they were actually busy. They had work to do. So it's fraud is what they committed, and I've even reported that, and it gets overlooked. And so while they actually had work to do, they were getting paid by customers, but they were pocketing every penny of that. Oh, there they are waiting for us, Whiskey, pulls up over here. I should have flipped the screen around. Cops over there watching for us to leave. And so they add an extra hour to us and put us at this flat pay the whole time they're getting a paycheck protection program, and the whole time they're pocketing all that money they're making off their customers and not having to pay employees with it, because they were. So what I'm saying is, people don't realize how dirty that is, because that's worse than slavery, because that means you had us pay ourselves, because that comes from the taxpayers, right? So me as a taxpayer at the time, you had me paying myself to work. That's worse than slavery, and it's pure fraud. But of course they stick together around here so they get away with it, and that's mainly half. A lot of this stuff, what's going on, is a lot of the reason for my me just doing these videos, is because that's how corrupt you guys want to be, and there's nowhere any of us can get any justice, get anything fixed. So I'm gonna throw it out there for everyone to see, and of course they're making my life hell every step of the way. I apply for a job, they make sure I can't get the job. It's all connected. A good job, I mean, there's a couple I could get, but they ain't paying worth shit. And so my thing is, I'm not gonna, if the job ain't paying for shit, and they already got both these judges who I have complaints about, still somehow are able to rule against me on everything else. So they got it set up now that as soon as I start making any money going into my bank account, that they're going to garnish all my wages. So I'm like, well, it better pay pretty good. You know, I'm a mechanic by trade, and they've got all of my tools. You know, when they took everything out of my house, like $60,000 worth of tools, at least, at minimum. And tools I had to work hard for to buy all my life throughout my whole career. And now they got it all. So in order to stay with that career, that I got to start 100% over at low pay, all this shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I ain't gonna do that, you know. You know, until I absolutely have to. But that's probably the most excitement we got for today. I thought for sure they'd try to get the police out there to harass me. So we'll probably get off of here now, and we'll find something else to go live about in just a little bit. Or I got a subject I'm working on for one of my other for an upcoming video, but I got to get it all put together, and then I'll probably just edit and upload that, and that one probably won't be alive. But I thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much. I'm a body shop guy, and tools ain't cheap. Yeah, right on. So you know what I'm talking about there. And they ain't, you know, if to have good tools to do your job. And that was my whole life, you know, pretty much. So it took all that time to build up all those tools, and they take them all, and they know damn well, and then refuse to tell me where any of it's at. Yeah, right on. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. And we're gonna go ahead and get off here now, because I gotta get parked and keep him under control, because once I get parked, he'll try to run out of the vehicle and take off. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it very much, and we'll catch everyone later on. Appreciate you.